Today, I am coming to you live and in color from Namibia's leading waste management company, Rent a Drum. I am so excited to show you around and bring you enriching conversations. Take along.
When it's time to throw, remember where to go. The seven last are here to teach you how to play. So sing along, dance along. Make it reappear, make it reappear. Recycle and reuse, get the most out of your goods. Regift and repair, fix it up to show you care. Reduce, there's no excuse to overuse. Rethink your actions, are the missing link. Refuse, no need to choose what you don't use, what you don't use. Right, it's me and it's you, and we know what to do. Rethink today for tomorrow and be a recycle hero.
Rent a Drum is currently running a social media campaign where they are teaching waste management to children. And right now I am joined by Master Abrams, who is the operations manager right here at Rent a Drum. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, fine, and you?
I'm very well. It's a pleasure to have this conversation with you. Let's get into the chat, right? What is the focus of the campaign that you're currently running on social media?
Well, the focus is towards recycling, and that's a very important thing for the entire country. And it was also being launched by His Excellency the President a few years ago, that with the first cleanup campaign in Namibia, that it is very important that waste that ends up at landfills or at dump sites needs to be recycled instead of plastics being blown away by the wind and so forth. So, and yes, our focus is really to make sure that each and every individual in this country should recycle, and all recyclables that can come to our premises here. And we have also branches in Oshakati, Walvis Bay, Rundu and Swakopmund as well. So we really want to emphasize on that the community must bring all the recyclables to us. Of course, it should be sorted in certain aspects, but that's where the awareness campaign comes in, where people needs to be made aware of what are recyclables and what are not recyclables.
But why is it so important? I know and I understand that you said it's important for everyone to recycle, but could you maybe just emphasize on why it is really important for children? And when we say children, what age ranges are we looking at?
Well, we used to have visitors also, or children visiting our facility here, and it's actually from preschool, primary, that children are coming to visit here, because they get the message very clear that they should go back home and tell their parents of what needs to be recycled. So it's very good to make children aware from grassroots level, to ensure that they do and understand what it is all about.
Yeah.
And of course, we want to take care of our resources from the environment. And that's very important. Instead of factories using virgin materials to make out of that again recyclables, instead of using raw materials. So, and that's really the aim and the message we want to carry it out, that whatever recyclables are being consumed or used at home should be recycled and should not end up at a dump site or a landfill site, because at the end of the day your landfill or your dump site will become so quickly full, and it costs a lot of money to again develop a new landfill or a dump site.
I love that. Teach them well while they are young and let them lead the way. Absolutely love that. Now, what do you think should be the role of parents in teaching the children to reuse, recycle, and reduce?
Well, it's very important that children should be taught from the beginning how recyclables needs to be sorted. And that's the reason why we enrolled the clear bag system at households. The clear bags, of course, is being provided to the households free of charge. Otherwise, people will not be encouraged to recycle. And the same with the transportation. When we collect the full clear bags, it's also for free of charge. And the children needs to be educated right from the beginning that you can. There are certain waste that cannot be recycled, but if you take, for instance, when we started with the recycling in 2010, that many people called us and said, well, the waste in my municipality bin, which is supposed to be general waste, which is supposed to go to the landfill, is only 10%. The rest are recyclables. And that's the point. That's the point that we want to make and ensure that people do recycle. Then, of course, you will have very less general waste.
There are people who don't necessarily understand why they should recycle. If you were to meet, that person who doesn't understand, what is that one sentence or one word that you would say is the importance of recycling to them?
Well, what I would like to say is the 3 R's. Is reduce, recycle, and reuse again. So that they understand that's the only way how you can get all recyclables into the system back again, instead of just let it end up on a dump site.
All right. How can we start recycling at our homes as individuals or as a family?
All right. Starting recycling at home is that you can take all your cans, all your plastic bottles, and there are different sizes, different types. I don't want to go into detail now, but I mean all cans, all plastic bottles, all papers, all cartons. That's the main 4 commodities, if I can put it in that way, that can be recycled. All plastic bags of any type. So, and that should be placed into a clear bag. If I take the Windhoek scenario, where we have a clear bag system at the place in Swakopmund, they have wheelie bins where they put all the recyclables into one wheelie bin, which is separate from their general waste. So, and it can also be fun for families to make sure that all the recyclables go in one bag and your general waste go into another bag. So that means that it's not necessary, and people always ask us this question, should I clean all my recyclables? And that's not necessary, as long as you take out from cans the most of the food stuff, but there's really no need to clean it. And if you want to clean it, if that makes part of the fun, then of course only use your used dishwater. Instead of using fresh water. So after you washed your dishes, then you can use that same water just to clean whatever you want to clean, and then put it in your recycling bag.
I love that you spoke briefly about food, which then leads me to my next question. What can we do with food waste?
Organic or food waste is, at this moment, there's no market for it. Unless you want to change that into compost. Yes, some individuals at home do use that as compost. They have their own compost facilities where they put it in, and then they take all that and put it back into the plants. So when they plant a new tree or vegetables in the garden and so on, so they put it in there. But that's on a very little small scale. But there's actually no company in Namibia who takes all organic food waste and change that into compost. So that's still a potential business which one can go into.
All right. Mr. Abraham, thank you very much for this conversation. Thank you for disseminating correct and factual information. I, for one, would start, recycling more because it's something that I don't do at home. But I would also encourage you to reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Neo Paints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neo Paints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neo Paints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
Okay, this is our paper section, where all the unsorted paper gets delivered. Amongst these papers, you will normally find 4 different types of paper, which is your newspapers, your glossy paper, which we call latex paper, your magazines, and then of course your normal white paper. So every one of those 4 categories needs to be sorted and be baled separately. And then after it's been baled separately, then we will export it to South Africa. So on this side is the confidential shredding area, where we do only shredding of confidential papers for customers, as well as for embassies or whoever has secret documents or confidential documents. And then we will provide each one of those. And then we will provide each one of these clients who wants their documents to be shredded with a destruction certificate, which is proof to them, which they can provide back to their auditors and say, okay, this is the amount of papers, with confidential papers are going to be destroyed. So some of the shredded paper that gets out of this cage, we bale it and we sell it locally to Nan Farm, who is the main distributor of medicine. So they simply use it as packing material for their glass medicine bottles. Carton box area, where all the carton boxes and plastic has been delivered. We normally collect it mixed from our clients. So we provide them with cages where they can put all their carton boxes and plastic together in one cage. So it makes just the collection process and transportation of that in a much easier way. Recyclables are being delivered to. As you can see, this is one of the clear bags collected from households. So there's a variety of recyclables inside this bag. That's the reason why we implemented a clear bag, because of job creation, so that we have this for a sorting facility where we have many employees who can sort this. And that's the main reason behind our store. Recovery facility sorting line. You will see 2 conveyors here. We've got a bottom one from which they take off all the recyclables, but at the same time also take off RDF waste. RDF stands for refuse derived fuel, which they put on the top conveyor, and that goes the opposite direction towards the RDF plant next door. So down at the bottom here, behind, below the conveyor, you will find the different bunkers, as we call it, into which only a specific commodity will go in. So at the beginning it will be only carton boxes. The second bay is only for plastics, clear plastics. The third one for colored plastics. The fourth one for stretched plastic. Then the next one is for all your Tetra Pak, and then for all your HDPE bottles, and then for your PET, your newspapers, and your white paper. The rest of the line is less volumes, which is just for the green and brown PET bottles, and for your common mixed waste, and for your magazines.
Neo Paints was founded and established by Hubert Hesse in 1953, making it the largest and oldest paint manufacturer in Namibia. Hesse wanted to make Namibian paint for Namibian conditions and opened the first Neo Paints head office in Windhoek. And up till recently, our headquarters and manufacturing site were located in Bell Street, Southern Industrial. For over 68 years, Neo Paints has created a Namibian legacy of creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation to bring beauty to the harshest environments. We pride ourselves on being a 100% Namibian-owned company and experience utmost gratification to invest in our country and our people. Neo Paints has recently invested in the construction of a new production facility on a 26,000 square meter site in Windhoek. Phase 1 was completed in April 2021, and the second phase was completed in February 2022. This development offers our company the potential to increase production capacity and increase the potential to expand the workforce through a wider distribution footprint into Southern Africa. This new, larger factory lends itself to more state-of-the-art production processes, new innovative product development, and better customer service. Our products are specifically formulated for the harsh Namibian environment by our own paint chemists, which give our company the competitive edge in the Namibian paint market. Neo Paints, a coat of excellence.
Right now, I am joined by Master Yaku Swart, who is the commercial manager at Rent a Drum. How are you?
Good day, welcome to Rent a Drum. Yeah, I hope you was impressed by our.
There is a lot going on here. I didn't see the plant, but I can see it's busy. I can hear what is going on in our background. But let's talk about Rent a Drum. Rent a Drum started in 1989. So what type of services do you offer? What goes on around here?
Rent a Drum started in 1989. It has started as a small business. We only have collected household garden waste at households, and from there on the business have grown and start to deliver services at in Windhoek for the businesses. In 2010 we started with our recycling, and from there on we have grown and all over Namibia. So today, Rent a Drum is a household name that provide a one-stop service to all Namibian companies and Namibians, and we believe in a total integrated waste management solution for our clients.
All right. Now, I love that you spoke about the growth of Rent a Drum. What would you say brought about that growth?
The first thing I think is to provide a professional service to all our clients. That is for us important, and also that you can understand what is your client needs. And with the 34 years, we have grown and adjust to our client needs, that we can provide today a much bigger spectrum of client services as what we have started in 1989.
All right. How many branches of Rent a Drum do you have?
Currently, we have our main branches in Windhoek. Then we have Walvis Bay, Swakop, Oshikati, Rundu, Oranjemund. And then we also have satellite branches on Rossing, Husap, and Langerheinrich mine.
All right, let's talk about Rundu, since you mentioned Rundu, right? I understand the branch in Rundu is relocating. What brought about this change, and where is it relocating to?
Previously, we were situated in the more close to the not in the industrial area. So, and we have decided that we can move to the industrial area as it is closer to our clients, and that we can provide a better service, and it is also so that we can accommodate everyone in Rundu.
So right now you're in the city center itself, town center of Rundu.
Yes, that was correct. And this weekend, so from 1 March on, we will operate from industrial area.
All right. Now, tell us about, the specialized services that Rent a Drum offers.
During the years, rented drum have grown, and we started to specialize in more different services. For example, the mining industry. Every mine has different needs and requirements that you have to fulfill. And we have on the mines especially, there's a lot more hazardous waste that you have to take into account. So, and also what we do is we demolish buildings, old redundant haul trucks, all the scrap removal we do bioremediation, rehabilitation, and also now with a whole new development in the oil and gas industry, we are also involved with that to provide a full service scope to the oil and gas industry.
When you say rehabilitation, what do you mean? What are you rehabilitating around here?
Rehabilitation can be different things. The first thing can be there can be an area that is contaminated, for example, with old chemicals, so old buildings. So we will come in, we will destruct the building, demolish it. Then we will rehabilitate the soil. That area can be reused again, and that the mine, for example, can build a new building on that site without any contamination or any health and safety impact on the people that will work again on that site.
All right, I love that. Thank you very much, Mr. Yaku, for joining us on Properties.
Yeah. No problem. Enjoy your day.
Good afternoon, I'm lying, good evening. Good evening, Risa.
Good evening, Lamri.
And welcome.
Thank you.
Great to have you back.
It's good to be here, as always.
As
we say the same thing every week to each other.
Yeah,
Always
well,
good to see you.
Risa, the question that I want to ask this week, because I want to know the answer, and I believe the viewers also want to know the answer. What does it mean when people are referring to a seller's market or a purchaser's market, and when is best to buy or sell?
Oh, well, that's a very interesting question, and obviously I might not be completely the expert on that. I think estate agents will maybe be able to tell you better, but if we're referring to a seller's market, then it's obviously the time of the year or in a period where it's best for the seller, where you will get the most proceeds. So it's in a time where the property market is saturated and there's very few properties on the market. Construction has been stalled for some time, so there's a big need for property and developments, and we went through several of ups and downs in our market. Some years the property market is very high valued and you will get the highest value because you're actually in a very competitive market as a seller. So that's when we refer to it as a seller's market, and that's obviously when it's best to sell your property. And then when it's a buyer's market, it's basically what we are in now. It's very properties are being sold below valuation, and it's saturated with buildings, and people can compete for the best
and also,
offers.
especially during the COVID
Yes,
time,
something like a pandemic.
absolutely a
Usually,
purchase market.
definitely. So if you are in a position that during tough times, actually, like when the rest of the economy is suffering a bit, then it's referred to as a purchaser's market. So then you are in the prime season. You get to choose your property and negotiate a bit and see if you can get it way under market value, because people are under pressure to sell their properties. So that's when it's best to buy the property. If you've got any financing, then save your money for when the rest of the country is suffering, then buy a property for a bargain.
Yeah, people tend to get scared and then they want to sell and they want to run.
Yes.
Big mistake.
Big mistake. You should hold on as long as possible, and not during every dip in the economy. It will pick up and it fluctuates. I mean, that is just how it works. So the same within every other sector is the same in the property sector. So yes, I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, and if you're a business person, you must be brave.
You must be brave.
You can't just
take
run.
chances, and when everybody else is saving their money, then you must be
Everybody
spending.
else is running,
Yes.
and then you are purchasing
Yes.
for a bargain price.
And you should bring the transfer to our office then.
To wederkouter en Uweka, to
Yes.
Risa. Speak
Thank
to
you, Valerie.
Risa Dreyer.
Yes.
Risa, thank you very, very much.
You're welcome. I will see you again
And I'm looking
next
forward
week for a
seeing
big
you
question.
Yeah, next week.
Good.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I am standing in front of the recovery facility where all the magic happens. I'm talking about sorting and so much more. This has been our show. Remember, properties is more than just a building.